look on these cases ng 398 at yung mga 195 na natanggal.
Yes, sir. We'll do, sir, and I'll give you feedback, sir.
At tell us, no, para at least malaman po natin kung magkano yung pondo.
Anyway, before I ask Police Staff Sergeant again, Casino, actually not only those who died and wounded, also those police officials, no, whether kahit mga PNCO, we are also victim of such campaign during the previous administration. So marami po yan. Marami pong mga forms of violation of the rights, no? Marami po yan. For example, yung mga police na pinatay din. Di ba? Because they're being accused that they're involved in illegal drugs. And the proof is their names is listed in the Duterte's list. Tapos, kailangan ma-check natin saka makuha yung data dun. Saka maimbestigahan. Ano na ba ngayon yung status ng mga yun? Kahit po sabihin pa natin na those in the list and was killed are really involved, no? Really involved in that in the drug trade. But still they have the right. Diba? Yan, for example, ganyan. Second is those names listed in the Duterte's list that was assigned sa malalayo. Then pagdating na doon, pinatay. Di ba? Marami yan. So, we have to get that list and documents. For example, I will cite you one example, Mr. Chairman. Sa amin galing, yung Colonel Rapis, nasa Duterte's list, nirelieve, inassign doon sa Zamboanga. Doon na siya inubutan. Until now, the case is unsolved. Unlike here now, in front of us, of course, are all our heroes, no, in line of duty. And they received such support from the previous administration and even in this administration. But yung sa akin, my concern is those police officers being victimized. Mamaya po, i-discuss sa inyo yung ilang mga data and to prove you that indeed, ang dami pong police officers na matitino, magagaling, just because they don't believe on such program. And some of those are politically, quote-unquote, inclined. Dun sa mga political opponents are being victimized. Mamaya po, I will discuss on that. Now, Police Staff Sergeant,
bago ka lumayo doon sa issue na, I wanted to show something lang.
Tapos yung muna yung casino, balik ko lang.
May relation to doon sa sinabi mo.
Mamaya, pinpoint out ko lang yun just to make the point that all those witnesses now in front of us are witnesses that was wounded in line of duty. Tama? In line of duty, legitimate operations against drugs. Di ba? Illegal drug trade. Now,
kasi before you proceed,
yung mga namatay, di ba, ng mga police officers in line of duty, legitimate drug operations. Now, doon kay Casino, kasi ano lang ako doon, medyo curious, kasi di ba, may nakita mo na baril. Tama? Tapos, to the rescue ka. Tama po?
Yes, sir.
Sino yung nakita mong binaril?
Yung kasama ko po na Intel Operatives po, Your Honor.
Intel Operative ng
San Carlos.
ng San Carlos.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, binaril yung pulis na yon.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Namatay.
Namatay po, Your Honor.
Namatay.
Yes, po.
Okay. So, sino yung police officer na yon na namatay?
Police Corporal Jimbo Agtarap po, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, in that case, in that killing of that police officer, ano yung motive that was established?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po dyan, Your Honor, is may nag-conduct po yata siya ng surveillance po, Your Honor. At
Hindi, ganito muna. Ayan, yung alam mo. But what is the official findings? Kasi we have to check that eh. Kung he's conducting surveillance operation, for what? Now, next is, bakit, sabi mo ngayon may kaso, di ba? You have a pending case with regards to the 3 alleged assailant. Tama?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, paano mo natatukoy na yung 3 mismo? Yun sila.
Yung isa po doon po, Your Honor, is na nakilala ko po talaga, Your Honor. At
How did you know him?
yung pamaril po sa akin po, Your Honor. At kasi nilabas po niya yung body niya po niya, Your Honor, doon sa passenger side po, Your Honor.
So, na-identify mo, na-idean mo, nung nagkabarilan na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, mga gun for hire, na-establish ngayon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Gun for hire connected in what? Sa ano?
Sa drugs po, Your
Sa
Honor.
drugs. Okay, anyway. So, most probably, but of course, this is not conclusive. Ito lang yung maring teorya, kaya kailangan natin makuha yung case na yan. So, maring teorya is, nagsasurveillance yung police na yon, yung namatay ba? Namatay siya?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung namatay, nagsasurveillance in relation to drug operation. Tama. But of course, it all still depends on the actual investigation and the motive established in that killing, di ba? Tama.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, dapat lang talaga yung mga namatay na mga nasugatan in line of duty, dapat talaga suportahan because we want to encourage our police personnel and officers not to do their duty diligently at the same time and for the love of country, for peace and order, no? So, I salute all those victims, no? Or not victims, but all those police officials that was wounded and some of them killed in line of duty and in legitimate operations. Dapat talaga suportahan. But again, my also concern is those police officials that was dismissed, that was incarcerated, that was some of them died because they are in the list or adulterous list. Yun po yung isang concern ko dito. Kasi mamaya't maya po, Mr. Chairman, as I have said, I will present to you some data with regards to, medyo, ito, mabuti nandito yung Napolcom, no? Para magkaalam-alaman na. Kasi, early part pa kasi ng 2016 eh. Ibig sabihin, that time, those allegedly in the terrorist list ng mga police officials, hindi pa talaga naman proven eh. Kasi kakaupo lang ni Duterte. But nandun sila sa listahan. And unfortunately, some of them were killed. No? Nirelieve, inassigned, pagdating doon sa assignment, malalayo, patay. And I mentioned about a certain Colonel Rapis from my home province. Allegedly, involving drugs, nasa drug list ni Duterte, inassign sa Zamboanga, sa Mindanao, few months after, namatay. So that's only example. And other police officials also, na kinasuhan or pinaimbestigahan, tapos may admin case. Unfortunately, some of those, ang nakakatawa pa dahil hindi daw sumunod sa quota. Kulang ang quota.
Ano ka?
Eh, the mere quota, tinatakan agad na related, na involved sa drug trade. Dahil kulang ang quota. So, Mr. Chairman, again, mamaya po, after siguro ng mga witnesses, I will present to you just one of the many cases, no? One of the many cases na kawawa po. Kawawa. Well, in fact, yung isa pa pala, Mr. Chairman, mayroon ba nga mga police officials yun sa Piyaw that time? No? They narrated to me. No? Nagkataon lang ng taga-amin, magje-general pa, kawawa. Class 84. Nilagay doon sa Piyaw. Tapos pinapauwi. Kulang lang humawak doon sa gate. na hindi lumabas sa krami because they know for the fact that pag lumabas sila doon, patay sila. Just like what happens in some of those officials. And daming kaso. Oh, Mr. Chairman, I will also mention, Colonel Ebrio, now, former Chief of Police of Bacolod City, now General, kawawa rin yun, biktima rin yun. I do not know him, his background, but gusto ko nga, Mr. Chairman, next hearing, papatawag ko yan. Why? Because he was relieved in Bacolod City because of that failed ambush of the #1 councilor of Bacolod City during the time. Fortunately, nabuhay. A certain councilor, Kanotan, the owner of Compistuan, a very popular high resort in Negros Occidental, Bacolod City. Inambush. Nabuhay. Of course, being the victim is a councilor, what will I do as a chief of police? I make sure the safety of that councilor, pinadala na police para ma-secure. Baka abutan pa sa ospital. Nalaman ni Duterte. Few days after, nandun sa LPC Hotel, sa Bacolod City, nag-grant. Nandun pa yung chief of police. Making sure the security of the president. Nag-grant. Pinagalitan. Pinagmumura in public. Yung Colonel Ebrio that time. Few days after, pinarelieve. Because of what happened in Kanotan. But, for the record, the name of Kanotan was delisted few months after. By whom? By the president. Because it was recommended by Espinido. When Espinido was assigned Bacolod City, linear po yung pangalan. Ano ngayon yung he never even asked for apology to that police officer. Ngayon, ewan ko lang, general na yun, but napihaw ka because you're just doing your job, hindi mo alam na mga operatiba yon galing Manila or galing somewhere else. Di ba? Yung mga ganon. Kaya, Mr. Chairman,
So, in other words,
maraming reason.
Chairman Caraps, they are also victims.
Yeah. Well, but,
Why not move,
Mr. Chairman,
Para ma-invite
in
sila.
particular, but I have a lot of police officers to be invited and even a Polcom next hearing. Now, Mr. Chairman, I move to invite, I do not know now if he is now general or retired na. Hindi pa.
General Pardo,
Ano po?
o si General Torre?
Sir, class 95 po. He's currently the deputy chief of the PPDC, sir. He's holding the rank of police colonel, sir.
Police colonel pa rin?
Yes, sir.
Saan siya naka-assign?
Sir, sa PPDC, sir.
Police colonel pa rin?
Yes po, sir.
So, will be
7 ka, ma'am, di ba?
96 po, sir.
96?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
95 siya, Colonel pa rin siya.
colonel pa rin
Yes
siya?
po, sir.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I move that we invite Police Colonel Ebrio on the next hearing.
Okay, we'll be inviting Colonel
mamaya po.
in the next hearing.
Mamaya. Again, Mr. Chairman, I just want to state na, of course, sinasabi ko, we need to support all those killed, the families of all those killed and wounded police officers. Saludo ako sa kanila because they died in line of duty defending this country against illegal drugs. But still, Mr. Chairman, hindi po natin dapat makalimutan yung mga police officials na biktima din. Well,
Yes.
some of them, kinamatayan na lang yung kaso nila sa Napolcom. And ngayon, some of them, may mga pending cases doon sa on appeal sa CEC, ang iba siguro nasa Court of Appeals.
So, sinasabi mo, Chairman Caraps, there are those na mga police officials that suffered as well, natanggal sa serbisyo because of they were listed on the drug list?
Yes. Yung sinasabi ko nga eh. Now, you want to discuss it? I will discuss it.
I'm just confused kasi a while ago we were discussing yung mga victims that may mga natugatan, namatayan, and this one that you are trying to mention right now are those policemen who were dismissed or either may kaso pa right now because they were listed on the drug list.
Yes, correct. Well, in fact, ito for the record, I will not mention muna yung name. Well, in fact, yung isa dyan, yung isa kilala ko talaga, class 97, and I told you, Some of the Class 77 is involved, 96 is involved, but there are a lot. Most of Class 77 and 96 are police officials na talaga magagaling. Pero yung 97, nauna pa nga magkapitan. May isa din, nauna pa nga magkapitan kay General Torre. And all those 96, mas mauna pa siya.
Can you mention the name? Para po,
Nauna pa nga naging major.
for transparency.
Pero pagdating ni Duterte, 2016, tinanggal din sa drug list. I mention now, Police, Lieutenant Colonel, Ipil Viñas, taga Iloilo po. Oh, and you check, I have now the service record of all those police officials. I'm not saying that all of those 214 na may mga kaso administratively, malilinis po. Pero let us see. Let us see all those cases, especially ngayon. Bago rin Vice Chairman ng Napolcom. Maraming iskandalo po. Some of them under duress. Napilitan pong pirmahan yung investigation because they are being pressured na nakakataas the time.
Now we have to validate that, Chairman Garapz, no? So we will be inviting those people that were under duress. If I may, Chairman Garapz, so try to mention or try to tell us or invite those people who are connected with this sort of harassment or putting them under duress. Because if indeed they were compelled to sign yung pong kanilang pagpasok do sa listahan ng mga nasa drug list, then at least malaman po ng committee ito. So we'll be asking you to mention or to invite those personalities. Siguro kay General Torre, no? Yung pong well, si IDG po kayo ngayon, di po ba? And are you conducting several investigation pertaining to all these cases ng mga kapulisan po natin na may kaso right now? But before you proceed, no, that you would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Paulo Ortega of La Union and Congressman Bambi Amano of Misamis Oriental. Welcome, sir. Sige, go ahead, General.
Sir, what we are looking at right now are the cold cases na suspected to be on the AJK, sir, yung offshoot ng ating AJK investigation in the previous hearings. So, as of the moment, based on the priority, sir, wala pa yung mga cases ng police na namatay under mysterious circumstances na minention ni Congressman Paduano, sir. But it will be included eventually, sir, pag matapos namin ang mga priority cases, sir.
Okay, thank you, General. Yung mga namatay, magkano binibigay po natin dito? Like, for example, ito 312 yung namatay, eh. So, magkano po ang, kasi yung nasugatan, lahat po ba yan? Nakatanggap ng 100,000? Lahat ba? Siguro sa DPRM.
Yes, sir. Ang benefit po ng isang killed in police operations, we have under the law, Republic Act 6963. Ito po, sir, yung 6 months na salary na ibibigay sa kanya. Kung baka, sir, ini-extend yung buhay niya at masusweldohan siya ng 6 months. So, yun po, sir, ang
So, 6 months na sweldo.
Opo, sir.
Pag namatay.
Pag namatay, sir.
Pag nasugatan, magkano?
Yung hospitalization expenses po, sir. Yan lang po, sir. Yung
Hindi, kanina kasi may sinabi si Sergeant Petras, di ba? Na nakatanggap siya ng 100,000. Sa hospitalization yun?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sa hospitalization yun.
The 100,000 came from the Comprehensive Social Benefits Program under EO 110.
So kasama na yung hospitalization doon.
Basta 100, hindi, sir, iba pa yung, kasi iba itong benefit niya ng 100,000, iba yung reimbursement ng hospitalization
Okay,
expenses.
separate. Separate yun.
Opo, sir.
Okay, sa namatayan, magkano ang binibigay natin? 6 months. Di ba? At sa mga nakasuhan, kanya-kanya.
Tama po, sir.
Kanya-kanya.
Kanya, sir.
Ayun ang problem. Ay, sige, BC, the new Vice Chairman of Napolcom, Attorney Ricardo Bernabe. Congratulations and you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may just add lang po, no, yun po kasing death benefits to the
killed in action ng mga policemen, under po yun ng NAPOLCOM. So meron po kami mga benefits na binibigay sa kanila. Ito po yung gratuity, lump sum po ng 1 year salary. And then meron po silang burial expense na 3 months salary. And then po yung monthly pension and medical reimbursement of the actual medical expenses with actual receipts. So yun pong mga wounded naman po na nag-result sa...
Rico, ano to, 1 year salary doon sa mga namatay?
Yes po, sir.
At monthly pension.
Yes, monthly pension.
And then,
Meron pong burial expense na equivalent po ng 3 months salary.
okay.
And then medical reimbursement po of the actual medical expenses supported by official receipts.
Yung may mga kaso.
Yung mga, hindi po, ito po yung mga death po.
Yung mga tayo sa may kaso.
Wala po.
Oo nga eh. Ano lang so, sa mga nasugatan, saka sa namatay.
Yes, pero Sir Share, yung wounded po, ito po yung naging ano sila, permanent disability. Pag po yung mga wounded lang, wala rin po sa NAPOLCOM.
But yun nga, so, kasi yung policy ng former government is to help, di ba? Those sagot kasi eh, di ba? Yun ang pronouncement ng ating pong dating Pangulo that tutulungan. But yung ang tinatanong po namin, kasi we need to find out the data, no? Kasi yun ang gusto na po natin para klaro po tayo. Huwag tayo maakusahan dito. So, doon sa mga may kaso na 214, 398 na kasalukuyan may kaso at 195 na natanggal, wala tayong tinutulong sa legal expenses.
Under NAPOLCOM po, Mr. Chair, wala po kami legal fund that no assistance given.
No assistance.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Sige, Chairman Barbers, please.
matanong ko lang din sa PNP, no, kung sa NAPOLCOM, wala only on medical, no? Medical expenses. Kumbaga may reimbursement, may burial, but nothing on the legal, no? Okay. So what about the PNP? Do you have an item in your budget na merong for legal assistance dun sa mga police officers that are charged administratively and or criminally? So meron po ba kayong legal assistance fund dyan?
Sir, there is a certain amount allocated for the PNP legal assistance, but this is really not enough to cover all the PNP personnel facing service-related cases, sir.
Would you know how much is the figure of the legal assistance fund?
Sir, based from the information provided to me, sir, there is an allocation of 200 million for legal assistance for the DILG family, sir.
DILG.
DILG family, sir.
So kasama dyan ng BGMP, Bureau of Fire.
Yes, sir. All agencies attached to the DILG, sir.
So there's no particular budget for the PNP. Kumbaga, ang magkano doon sa 200 million, magkano yung napupunta sa PNP? Kasi yung, hindi naman sa ano, no, yung members naman ng Bureau of Fire, Bureau of Jail, eh, hindi naman napapa-encuentro yun. Di ba? Though, sometimes they also get entangled in a legal battle because of the performance of their duties, but more on the police eh. So sa police, magkano yung allocation for legal, ano niya dyan?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we have to check first, sir. We'll give feedback later, sir.
Oh, sige, thank you. Kasi that's the reason why I asked that, Mr. Chair, is because when the war against drugs was implemented, this was perhaps the only time where more than or a sufficient or a significant number of police officers and personnel were charged administratively, and some of them were already dismissed. So maybe wala ho kasing abogadong tumulong, wala ho silang nakuhang abogadong magaling. So in this particular issue, Mr. Chair, a 200 million budget for the whole DILG family for legal services is not enough, considering the number of those that have been charged administratively and criminally. Kung i-divide mo yung 200 million dun sa
195 na may mga natanggal at 398 na may mga kaso.
i-total mo lahat yan, divide mo by 200 million, lumalabas lang yan na ilang libong piso lang ang kanilang, gumawa ka lang ng affidavit, may bayad sa abogado. Okay lang sana kung si Attorney Rico, libre ito, pro bono. No, di ba? Halimbawa, si Attorney Atcharon, libre rin yan, pro bono rin yan. So, what I'm trying to emphasize, Mr. Chair, is that if we are indeed serious in helping the PNP, lakihan natin yung budget ng legal services ng PNP. Para hindi rin po matakot yung ating mga kapulisan o yung kawani ng PNP na lumaban. Kasi alam nyo, yung mga kalaban nila, drug lords yan eh. May mga pera yan eh. At tatawa-tawanan lang tayo niyan kung ang ating kukuning abogado para sa ating PNP, yung hindi kagaya na abogado ni Attorney Atcharon na de Campanilla. So I guess, no, Mr. Chair, that when we try to propose budget for the PNP legal services, no? Specific, yung 200 million na yun, baka nga kulangin pa yun, kung PNP lang eh. So, I'd like to ask the COMSEC to take note of that manifestation in order that this should have a place in our committee report so that when we recommend, sana ma-consider ng ating DBM. Yun lang,
Mr. Chair. Related lang, Mr. Chair, because
Okay lang, Congressman Charon? Okay lang.
but I yield to the younger Attorney Atcharon, but
Congressman, please.
Mr. Chair, related to Chair Barber's concern, I'm more concerned of the medical expenses naman, Mr. Chair, if how much the PNP has for their medical expenses, and if may limit ba, Mr. Chair, dun sa medical na tulong nila eh. Unlimited. Kasi PhilHealth, they have a baseline eh.
Yes,
For PNP, maybe no, Mr. Chair.
DPRM, please.
Yes, sir. Meron pong limit. I'll just check, sir, yung exact amount para masigurado ko sa sagot ko, sir. I'll just get the exact amount.
Yeah, and getting the exact amount, Mr. Chair, would that be later or would it be...
It will be now, sir. I-check ko lang ito.
Because I remember, Mr. Chair, during the time when I was governor of Misamis Oriental and PD Balones was my provincial director. And every time that that we had challenges with our members of the Philippine National Police, the Philippine National Police helps them with their funds, but sometimes kulang. So ang ginagawa namin, so we charge it to the peace and order funds of the provincial capital po. So that's what I want to know, if kung kulang, so that we'll be able to help them craft a law that hopefully, Mr. Chair, that will extend, expand, increase the medical expenses without limits, Mr. Chair, especially if done in line of with their duty, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Ayan, pinalakpakan ka na. At bawal pumalakpak, pero hayaan natin yun. No? At malaking yan. And that's the reason why we are conducting this hearing, para malaman natin, kasi it was advised to us by the Speaker to find out yung mga kailangang idagdag sa ating pong PNP organization para kapag nagkaroon po ng bicameral committee hearing na po ang Senado at ang Kongreso, may pasok po natin itong tulong sa mga kapulisan natin that were also victimized by the war on drugs. But Congressman Atcharon?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Gusto ko lang itanong sa Napolcom, ano po ang extent ng inyong or nature ng inyong participation or intervention kung meron sa cases ng mga PNP na na-involved doon sa extrajudicial killings? Ano po ang inyong so far po? Is that part of your mandate to provide like legal services to those who are involved in the extrajudicial killing?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, wala po sa mandate namin to provide legal assistance. However, kung meron pong mga cases against police officers, then you will have jurisdiction to try them administratively po. So kung meron pong final na case sa amin, we have concurrent jurisdiction with the Chief PNP and the
So,
PNP.
ano po ang connection ng inyong function at saka ng IAS?
Ang IAS po ay recommendatory po to the Chief PNP and the Chief PNP po ay may concurrent jurisdiction with the NAPOLCOM. Bale po kung meron pong case against a police officer for grave offense, pwede po nilang i-file sa IAS, pwede rin po sa NAPOLCOM.
Okay. So yung mga pumupunta po sa inyo ng cases ay nagagaling po, nag-originate sa IAS, di ba?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Hindi.
Yes po. Pag po IAS, yun po ay pumunta sa Chief PNP po. Pag po sa NAPOLCOM is original jurisdiction.
Also, you
Kaya po sa
decide,
NAPOLCOM.
you make a final decision on the cases that are brought to you for resolution, parang ganon.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. I'm good, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you, Congressman Lacharon. Gerald Torre, kasi meron ditong 398 na may kaso, di ba? At 195 yung natanggal, no? Bilang ikaw yung head ng CIDG, no? Probably you can somehow revalidate yung mga kasong to para malaman natin sino dito talaga yung mga naging biktima na sumunod lamang talaga. Kasi alam mo, very special case yung sa war on drugs na to kasi nga iba-iba yung pronouncements dito na atin nadinig, and that's the reason why medyo naligaw yung iba nating mga kapulisan. At kanina nga may binabanggit si Chairman Caraps that those na-dismiss, at may mga kaso pa sa ngayon, medyo nawindang sila dahil napalagay sila din sa mga drug list.
Yes, sir.
May mga ganong kaso na hindi natin naiwasan because of the different may policy, tapos pag tinignan mo naman yung CMC 16-2016, may negation, may neutralization, di ba? Talagang magugulo ka kapag ang level ng iyong knowledge ay yung non-well experienced yet, no, ng mga kapulisan natin. Like for example, sila, di ba? Yung mga sergeant, mga captain, major, di ba? Tapos nag-order sa kanila general. So, yun ang nag-order ng general, talagang yun ang yun ang utos sa taas. So, can you kindly look on these cases ng 398 at yung mga 195 na natanggal?
Yes, sir. We'll do, sir, and I'll give you feedback, sir.
At tell us, no, para at least malaman po natin kung magkano yung pondo na ilalagay natin. Asap to sa General Torre,
Yes, sir.
Kasi para at least malaman po natin magkano yung pondo na ilalagay natin. Specifically, those who were agreed. Agreed sila Kasi makita mo na talagang sumunod lamang sila sa utos. So, we will be handling this with the assurance from this Congress, na mabigyan po natin sila ng kakulang-tulang na legal. Kasi lang sinabi ni Chairman Barbers, magastos to affidavit lang, magkano nang gagastosin mo So, before we proceed, the Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Richard Gomez and Congressman Sergio Dagok. Pero tapusin muna natin si Captain Ronnie Tereño, saka babalikan kita pare. Tapusin ko lang si Captain Ronnie Tereño, and then yung I think ito yung family na namatayan, Kayo, So, muna si Captain Tereño, you are now recognized.
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm Police Captain Ronnie Areño, assigned at Quezon City Police District.
Before you proceed, 1 minute suspension.